Hello people, it's your girl once again on Real Inspiration. Today what are we talking about on Real Inspiration? We're talking about volunteering. Trust me, a lot of people wouldn't want to hear about this, but it has taken me to places that are beyond my wildest imagination. Because I'm here today because of volunteering. I volunteered at lots and lots of places and they got me here. So I'll give you an example of one person that I read about the story of volunteering and it actually spurred me to volunteer. So there was this guy, he actually had, I think, a bachelor's or a master's degree in accounting, and he went to a certain bank. He was just cleaning places, cleaning offices there. That's what he was volunteering to do. Nobody was paying him. He would come every beautiful morning. He would volunteer and do activities, clean the office and some stuff like that. And then there was this day, the lady had a difficulty in doing something. The lady who was working in that office, he kept cleaning all the time. She had a difficulty in doing something. So he was like, can I look at it? Is it possible for me to help? And the lady was surprised. Strange enough, like, what would a cleaner do? So the guy went and he looked at the information, did it as easily as possible because he was actually a pro in it, and he did it. So the lady started asking him what happened, why he's doing this and all. He says that he has been going to offices and everybody tells him they want working experience and he has not had any working experience anywhere. Of course, who would want to give you working experience in their company to eventually go and work in another person's company? It doesn't work that way. So how do you do it? How do you get experience? By volunteering. How do you volunteer? It's just like selling yourself. You can't sit at home and you're grumbling that the government has not done this for you or they've not done that for you. You have to go out there and sell yourself. Maybe there's just this company that doesn't even know that they need your services. But when you go there and start rendering those services for free, they will think about it. It works all the time. I volunteered at a radio station. They didn't have content. At some point, they made me start doing a program, and the program was a hit. It was just amazing. And there I got people whom I connected to, who gave me connections to other places and other bigger opportunities. It just works like that. You can't sit at home and you're grumbling and you're annoyed with everybody, pointing fingers at this and that person, forgetting that 3 other fingers are pointing back at you while you're pointing at others. It doesn't work that way, people. Especially young people of these days. We young people, we just want it now. We want it big. We just want to hit that big bang like today. It just has to happen now. You know, as I just graduate, it just has to be there. Nobody is saying that you shouldn't desire that. You shouldn't want that. But then, if that is not forthcoming, are you going to sit there, grumble, murmur, and do nothing about it? Go out there, sell yourself. Present to companies, to institutions, what you're capable of doing. Let them see the you that they don't know about. So it provokes them. It gets to trigger them to want you to stay permanently. And then you can make a choice, because when you've shown them who you are, when you've given them the tips of it, they would want the full package. So you can do a bargain, a real bargain, because then you know your worth and you know they need you. Volunteering is very important. If not for anything, it gives you the working experience that every other employer would want from you. When you go to companies, you apply, you're qualified, but each person keeps telling you they need 2 years working experience, 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, and all that. They just need experience. This guy was working there, and after he helped that lady to do that stuff, there was an opening in a particular other big bank, really big bank. This was actually international. That lady, who is well known in her office, recommended this guy. That's how he got a beautiful job. So are you there saying, complaining, oh, I can't volunteer because maybe the place I want to work at is actually far from my office. It's actually far from my house, so I can't go. I don't have transportation and all. Really? Really? If you're desperate for something and you so badly need it, you will do everything to get that thing. So why can't you do everything to get the working experience that is so necessary for you to get that job you desire so much? Volunteering is a miracle. I've gotten jobs just because I volunteered at other places. And so when they ask me for my experience, I can get a recommendation from these companies and institutions I've worked at before. It has worked for me marvelously. It has opened doors for me that are just beyond my reasonable understanding. It works for me. It works for everybody. So, where can you volunteer? Think about it. Sometimes it might not necessarily be where you want to be at the moment, but you need to get yourself busy. You need to get yourself doing something. An idle man, they say, is the devil's workshop. You don't want to be used by the devil. Even some of the servants of God, the apostles who were in the Bible, they worked. He said he uses his hands to work. Paul said that. So we need to work. We need to work. But when that work, that earns you a salary, that earns you a reward, is not forthcoming, sell yourself. How do you sell yourself? By volunteering. Go to some company, go to some institution, show them that new thing that you can do that their company doesn't have. It also gives you an opportunity to know where to direct your requests or your applications. Trust me, there's some companies you go to that people there are less qualified than you are, but they have the job. So you think they'll be comfortable to send your papers ahead? Most African countries, that won't work because the person knows their job is at stake. You're more qualified than them, but for the fact that they have working experience, so they know if they send your papers ahead, if they push your papers forward, they risk losing their jobs. So if you go there volunteering, you would know how to have access to directly put your papers or your application at the right office. That's a plus. It's just a tip. It works. So, wake up. Arise and shine. Volunteer somewhere. Do something. Do something with your life. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. I have volunteered. It has worked for me. I've read about lots of stories. I've seen lots of stories of people who volunteered and it worked for them. In one of the places where I was volunteering, someone actually saw me and recommended me to do a job that I got a reward for it, a really big reward for it. I've traveled to places just because I volunteered at a particular company and they needed somebody to fit into that position. It is that amazing. You just don't know where that breakthrough is going to come. Volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. I recommend it all the time. Princess Clayton loves you, but God loves you way beyond what you can imagine. So get close to him, get a relationship with him, and your life will never be the same again. Subscribe to our channel, share, send us emails, send us SMSs. We could get to you and help you in the best way we can. We love you. Mwah!